Fran, how important has Rollier been to just everything you guys have done this year, considering Mike's been out and Scooby's been out?
I would hate to think where we would be without him. I was so happy for him at that last jumper that he took that goes down. Just not only was that a great shot, but the 2 foul shots previous to that were great too. And he's a great guy, a terrific player, and again, I would hate to think where we would be without him at this point.
What do you think are the things he's done over the last year to 2 years? I mean, he came here pretty much as a defensive player, and now he's got so many different things in his offensive game.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm going to agree with so many different things. I think he's starting to make mid-range jump shots, which is critical. I think he's going to get mid-range jump shots, so he has to take them, and hopefully he makes his share of them. And I think he's worked really hard to get better at that part of the game. We ask him to do so much on the defensive end, sometimes stepping out and playing people on the perimeter, sometimes playing 6'9" and 6'10" guys who he's just outsized tremendously, but he's just a terrific human being, and it's a privilege to coach him.
Coach, you watch a lot of games like this, and you see there's 19 lead changes or whatever, then you look down here and there's 1 lead change in this game tonight. How were you able to take the lead and just repel everything they did?
Yeah, I'm not so sure we played great. I give Salle a lot of credit. I think they're really a hard team to guard. Like, we got hammered on that ball screen at the top of the key, and we're asking Anthony to do some things that he's probably not ready to do, and we could have done some other things had they not been so good on perimeter jump shooting, and that's obviously a concern we had going in. If you had said to me they were only going to make 5, I would have bought into that. So because I think they're so good at that, and every one of them is. So that I just think that we got ourselves a little bit of a lead. I'm hoping that our toughness carried us through, and but a hard-fought game, and it's going to be a hell of a contest when we have to go there in a couple of weeks as well. So,
Coach, how big of a factor was it? You guys have been in a lot of big, tight, tough games over the last few years. They're not in the same boat as you, and we got close down the end. How big of a factor is that for you guys?
You know, I don't know how. I know that I want our guys on our team because I think they come through in those kinds of situations. I know that we've made some big shots. I thought they made some great plays too. I just think it's one of those games where at some point you make one more play than they, and you get yourself a win. There was a couple of huge plays. Anthony Lee had a couple of great blocks, but we're asking him to do so much, and we're going to ask him again on Saturday to do against a big team, and we'll see if we can find something a little bit better than we did tonight. But I give a lot of that credit to Salle because I think they're a hard team to guard.
Coach Rollier said that it's not so much about confidence, more his role in the offense has evolved. At what point do you kind of look and say, like, hey, maybe he's somebody we can rely upon more offensively?
I think there have been games that we have played recently where we've asked him to make plays. He tried to make one today that was a little bit difficult for him to do in front of our bench pretty deep into the second half, and he's trying to split 2 people. That's not what he can do. It's not his game. But he can drive it and kick it, and he received a great driving kick today from Ramon late in the game. So we're asking him to do a lot of things because he would be a hard guard for somebody else who's a power forward because he's got some speed and quickness to him, and he's getting better as a ball handler and certainly as a decision maker as well.
Fran, what's Anthony, when you say we're asking Anthony to do some things he's not ready to do but is doing them, what is he doing better?
Well,
where is he kind of ahead of where he thought he was?
He's ahead of where you thought he was going to be. I mean, we were hoping that we could get 18 to 20 minutes out of him. Now he's playing on a night like tonight. It's only 20, but he's had high 20s, and it's just a lot of stuff. We've even had him watch film of LeBoy Allen and just say, this is how you hedge a screen. And we were trying to switch a couple things. We were trying to slow their pace down coming off those ball screens, and he's late sometimes, and he's not arriving at other times. Late in the game, we had a couple fouls to give, and obviously we didn't want him to foul Galloway late in the game. We wanted our guards, maybe if he had gone by our guards, maybe reach in to take a charge, or reach in and get a foul. But we leave him out to dry because he's not used to those kinds of situations. And then he reaches in and gets a foul, and luckily we survived. But it was a difficult play for him to make, and we're asking him to do way too much. But at this point, until we get Mike back, he's going to have to provide that role for us.
Juan hit a couple shots early and some free throws and a shot late. Was this a step forward for him from the past few games?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can say it was. I mean, he had not played his best basketball over the last couple of weeks, and no one knows it more than Juan Fernandez. But he's our guy, and you're going to go to him. You want the ball in his hands at critical times, and I thought he played well today, and we need him to continue to get back to the real Juan Fernandez.
Is there anything new on Mike's status, or just another?
You know, another reevaluation will take place tomorrow. Friday will be week 8, and so it'll be up to Mike, Doc, and the trainer. They'll come to me and say, okay, today, Wednesday, Saturday, or whatever it happens to be, and if we can have him, that'd be great. We'll have to manage that piece to it too. How much can he play? How effective is he going to be? Just to be honest with you, just his presence will help us.
Fran, both teams obviously have to do this. We're playing at 11 o'clock in the morning. How does that alter what you do in any way?
You know, we've tried a couple of different things. A couple of years ago, we did it, I think, against St. Joe's at the Palestra, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, do you get them up at 7 and eat at 7:30? Do you get them up at 8 and eat at 8:03 and eat some fruit and granola bars and not worry about it like you were going to the playground? You got to the playground, you didn't have great nutrition in your system, but you just went out and played. You know, I don't think there's any real remedy or great thought as to what's going to make us play better, but we'll think about it. We'll consult with our trainers and staff and see if we come up with something really interesting.
Fran, the last couple of possessions, they kind of distilled the one-on-one. Your guys really played very well together, made second, third, and fourth passes. Is that a function of knowing each other, experience, or is there something else to it?
Yeah, you know what, I appreciate you saying that. I thought in the first half we were so many bounces to each possession. We didn't do a very good job of passing and cutting in the first half, but I thought I was looking at the stats, I think we scored 14 baskets in the second half, and we assisted on 10 of those. So we finally got ourselves to drive and kick a little bit. We saw Anthony a couple times, and he made some baskets. And I thought we were much better offensively in the second half. I thought we were very poor in the first half. We were a tad selfish, thinking that we were all going to do it on our own. And we need to drive and pass and cut, and drive and kick much more than we did in that first half. But I thought we changed our spots in the second half.
Any more questions?